Okay, well, let's see if we can use a bar model to tackle this question. Right, at first there were 390 people in a hall. 3/5 of the people were adults and the rest were children. 1/12 of the children were boys. Then some girls went out of the hall, and in the end, 6/7 of the people in the hall were adults. And we are asked two questions here. A, how many children were in the hall at first? And B, how many girls were in the hall at the end? Okay, right, let's get cracking. I'm going to draw and probably quite a long bar here, and you get to see really just how bad my drawing is, even when I've got the squares to help me. So what I'm going to do is I'm focused on these fifths at the beginning. So I'm going to draw something that represents 5/5. I'm going to make that 1/5. Okay. So that's two of them, and I have to just make sure I check that they're all the same size. That's 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So this is how many people were in the hall. Okay. The 390 people in the hall and divided into fifths. So this is 390. So we've got that information is in there. 3/5 of the people were adults. Okay, so we need also to, in fact, why not use different colors just to make it easier? So here we go. 3/5 were adults. Okay, and it would help if I spelled that correctly. And then that makes the 2/5 here children. Okay, so so I've got this information that's done with, and we also know that 1/12 of the children were boys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the part for the children, so I am going to split that into twelfths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by dividing that into 2. So there'll be 6 in here. So that's going to be very approximate. There we go. Okay. So let's just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so they're all supposed to be the same size. And so we've now got the children in twelfths, and 1/12 were boys. Okay, so this is boys. This represents the boys. Okay, and that means the rest here, these are the girls. Okay, so right, let's have a look. In the end, so all right, so we've got that information done. Then some girls went out of the hall, and we're not told how many, but in the end, 6/7 of the people in the hall were adults. Well, we know it's only children that leave. Okay, some girls. Okay, we're not referring to the women as girls here, so the girls are children. All right, so only children leave. The adults stay the same. And in the end, we have 6/7. Well, this is nice, very conveniently, we have 3 equal size portions here. Now, what I'm actually going to do is redraw this part of the bar. Okay, so I'm going to redraw, just bring it down, the part that represents the adults. Okay, I could just continue using the same bar. It doesn't matter, but there we go. So that's the bit that's there. This is the adults. Okay. And we're now dealing in sevenths, but we've got 6 of the sevenths are adults, so we need 6 equal size portions. Okay, so that is our those are our adults. That's the 6 sevenths, and then that means that there must be another 7th, okay, of children. And how big is a 7th? We can see how big a 7th is. So that's going to be, take us to here. Okay, so this is the children. So this is, shall I say, at first. And this is in the end. Okay, so this is the children, and I should subdivide it as this has been. So into these thirds that I subdivided that into. Okay, all right. And this is boys. Okay, which means that this part are the girls. Okay, which means that this many children left. They're the ones that left the hall. Okay, so what are we asked? Let's have a look, because we need to keep an eye on the question. All right, we've put in lots and lots of information here. How many children were in the hall at first? Well, how many people were in the hall at first? 390. And we had it divided into fifths. So if we have 390 divided by 5, okay, that gives us 78. Okay, so each of these fifths has a value of 78. And how many children were in the hall at first? Well, that's 2 of those blocks of 78. So we need 78 multiplied by 2, and that will give us 156 children at first. Okay, so I can put that answer in here, 158. And then we're also asked how many girls were in the hall at the end. Well, here, this is the bit that these are the girls at the end. Okay, how can we calculate that? Well, we know that there were 156 children at first, don't we? We've just worked that out. So these are the children at first, and we know that we divided this by 12 into units of, these are all twelfths, okay, of this amount here. So we're going to do 156, and we're going to divide that by 12, which will give us 13. So each of these sections, each of these portions has a value of 13. So this is 13, and this is 13. And the girls is 2 of these, so we need 13 times 2, which gives us 26 girls at the end. Okay, and we'll put that in here, so that's 26. Okay, well, I think that's it, and I think that's quite a neat use of bar models. So I hope that helps.